Fatima Hassouna was a photojournalist in Gaza. A documentary was just made about her, and it got accepted into the Cannes Film Festival 2 days ago. Once Israel found out, 24 hours later, she was murdered by the IDF, including 10 of her family members and her pregnant sister. They dropped a bomb on their house and killed them all. Her one wish was that if Israel kills her, which she knew to be a distinct possibility, that people speak out on her behalf and make sure that they are loud when she dies.
She carried her camera through smoke and through sand, put her soul on her heart, put her life in her hand. 18 months in the rubble, she stood her ground. She said, if I die, let it be a loud sound. If I die, let it be loud, a dust the world will hear. She wrote her own eulogy, and we are reading it here. If I die, let it be loud. She wrote her own story. Her people are proud. One day before heaven came calling her name, Cannes wants your story. She burned like a flame. She said, I'll come, but I'm calling back for. Then the building came down, and she wasn't alone. If I die, let it be loud, a death the world will hear. She wrote her own eulogy, and we are reading it here. If I die, let it be loud. She wrote her own story. Her people are
كاتبة ومصورة. أهلي استشهدوا في 13/1/2024. كانوا في بيت ناس مدنيين تماماً. انقصفوا الساعة 12. استشهد 11 فرد من عائلتي، ولا مرة كنت بتخيل إنه عائلة كاملة تروح من عائلتي، يعني جزء كبير هالقد من عائلتي يروح. كنت بتخيل إنه يعني أفقد فرد واحد أو شخصين بالكتير، ولكن 11 نفر مرة واحدة كان إشي كتير صعب. يعني حتى الآن أنا مش قادرة أستوعب إن هم أصلاً راحوا، لأنه ما ودعناهم. يعني أنا كفاطمة مؤمنة إنه الصورة والكاميرا سلاح، بعتبر كاميرتي هي البندقية. يعني أنا كتير في كتير مواقف، في كتير أحيان بحكي لصحباتي إنه تعالي شوفي، مش البندقية إحنا بنحط لها الرصاص، أوكي أنا هحط الميموري في الكاميرا، فهاي رصاصة الكاميرا، هاي الميموري، تمام. بغير العالم، بدافع عن حالي، بفرج العالم أنا إيش بصير معي وإيش بصير مع غيري. فهذا الإشي يعني كنت بعتبره إنه هاد سلاحي، إني أنا أدافع عن حالي، وإنه أهلي ما ينتسوا، وإنه أوثق قصص الناس عشان قصص أهلي كمان ما تكون في مهب الريح. الآن قبل فترة صورت قصة لسيدة وطفلتها. السيدة هاي كانت رجلها مبتورة، وطفلتها عمرها 14 سنة وكانت رجلها برضو مبتورة. انتبهت عليهم إنه حتى فردة الشبشب اللي كانوا لابسينها كانوا متقسمينها، يعني هي لابسة فردة يمين وفردة شمال، فإنه ما بعرف يعني كان يعني حسيت بقشعريرة إنه كيف بلحظة هالقد ممكن تتغير حياة الإنسان.
We've published many features on the electronic intifada in the last week, but we wanted to highlight excerpts of Fatima Hassouna, the photographer who made a difference, by Asma Abdu, writing from Gaza. On last week's live stream, we reported on Israel's assassination of the photojournalist Fatima Hassouna, who was killed along with her entire family in an Israeli strike on their home in Al-Tufah, a neighborhood of Gaza City, on April 16th. Asma, who was Fatima's childhood friend, writes that Fatima was deeply committed to her craft. She never simply documented a moment. She became part of it. She had a rare ability to earn trust quickly. The subjects of her photography were not just faces or stories, they were people she befriended. Fatima's camera wasn't a barrier, it was a bridge. She always said that she wanted not just to carry a message, but to show kindness to the people she filmed or photographed. At Fatima's core was a sense of purpose. She came from a place of love. We lived just a street apart in Gaza City all our lives. After the genocide began, we would walk everywhere together. There were no taxis around, and prices were rising even higher. Each morning, Fatima would call. "Wait for me," she would say. "Let's walk together." And so we did. Those walks were more than just a means of getting from A to B. They were our little escapes. We shared everything, sorrows, secrets, silly thoughts. I never had to pretend to be anything I wasn't when I was with Fatima. There were no walls between us, just warmth and honesty. I wish that she was still around to tell her how much I loved her eye for a good photograph or image, how she saw not just the suffering in a person, but the soul behind it, how she brought dignity to every frame. Last winter, we were working in Al Yarmouk Stadium, where the conditions were especially dire. Seeing the suffering around her, Fatima said that we must help. I asked her to speak with the director of the film project she was working on about distributing blankets. She did, and soon we were part of a mission to not only document hardship, but to relieve it. That day, we weren't just storytellers, we were part of the story. And Fatima was glowing. She had done something she had always dreamed of. She had made a difference. Fatima was only 25. She was my sister, my confidant, my light. May the world never forget the name Fatima Hassouna. May the stories she told outlive the genocide that took her. And may we all learn from her to live with courage, to work with purpose, and to love always with everything we have.
One day before heaven came calling her name, canned once your story, she burned like a flame. She said, "I'll come, but I'm coming back for." Then the building came down, and she wasn't alone. If I die, let it be loud, a death the world will hear. She wrote her own eulogy, and we are reading it here. If I die, let it be loud. She wrote her own story. Her people are her sister, her siblings, her father's cry. Lady of Gaza, she learned how